I was lied to about Wonder Woman 1984. Hello, everyone, and I recently watched Wonder Woman 1984, which has been a movie I've been wanting to see ever since I first saw the trailer for it, and I loved the trailer, so I've really been wanting to see the movie. And I have seen so many people on both Twitter and YouTube say that Wonder Woman 1984 was a terrible film and talk about how bad it was. And honestly, everyone lied. Everyone lied to me and said over and over again that this movie was complete garbage. It was hot garbage. They completely lied. First off, I love Diana in this movie, and the scenes of her being Wonder Woman were just awesome and and honestly, just better than the first Wonder Woman movie. And honestly, this entire film was better than the first Wonder Woman movie. Just really everything about Wonder Woman 1984 is so much better than the first Wonder Woman movie. And I just love it so much. I love how Diana is throughout the movie. I love how Diana is. Steve is hilarious in this movie. I love Steve in this movie so much, and him learning about the new technology in 1984. I find that hilarious. There's a lot of funny scenes with between Steve and Diana, and I love that. The action scenes in this movie are also really great, and I also love seeing Wonder Woman going out of her way and saving people in these action scenes. Like her actually saving people and making sure people aren't killed in this movie. I love that. I also really like Cheetah in this movie and how she goes from someone no one pays attention to or even notices to and no one likes to her becoming this full-on villain that Wonder Woman has to fight with at the end of the movie. I also really like Diana's powers. They actually start going away because of her wish wanting Steve to come back and the whole concept of there are consequences and every action has there's a consequence to every action. And this also allows Diana to finally let go of Steve and move on with her life, which she hasn't been able to do ever since the ending of of the first Wonder Woman film. I also really love that the original Wonder Woman from the Wonder Woman show, Linda Carter, I think that's her name, she shows up in the after credit scene, and I love that they did that. Before I saw this movie, I've I heard so much bad stuff from people. I heard so much bad stuff and how people were saying how terrible it was, but I loved it. And I have to admit, honestly, the people who are saying that this movie sucks, honestly, those people, like I'm gonna hate saying this, but those people are basically Zack Snyder's fanboys, basically, who love Zack Snyder's superhero films and believe only like Zack Snyder's films or superhero movies are good. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and the Snyder cut of Justice League. Hell, Batman vs Superman is one of my favorite movies of all time. But that does not mean that just because another director is in charge that the movie sucks. I love what Zack Snyder has done with DC, and I do not like what Warner Brothers is doing, has done with his work. But I also really love this movie, and I have seen so much people who hate on this movie who were people who are they're fans of Zack Snyder's DC movies. And look, I'm not saying every Zack Snyder fan hated this movie, but I'm I'm noticing a lot of people who love Zack Snyder's work hated this movie simply because Zack Snyder did not make was not the director. And I'm sorry, that's stupid. That's really the dumbest thing ever. I personally love Wonder Woman 1984, and I am not sorry for saying this, and I hate how much I was lied to by everyone telling me this was a terrible movie for I don't know how long. People were telling me how bad this movie was. Because this movie was fantastic in my opinion. It's a full on 10 out of 10 for me. I loved this movie so much. It's honestly, this movie has already become one of my favorite movies of all time. It has already become one of my favorite movies of all time and one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. I loved this movie that much. And I'm so mad about how much I was lied to by basically everyone saying this movie was trash. When in fact, this is one of the best superhero films ever. I love Wonder Woman 1984.